the necessary supervision or the necessary terms of a future agreement. Otherwise, they will never do it. It is, I don't want to. I don't want to say things like, you know, they understand only the language of power, because things are always more complicated than this. But we're not far from it.
Thank you. Abdeslam.
Thank you, Mr. Lapid. I'd like to refer you back to an interview that you gave last year, where you said Netanyahu is not working for the country. The only thing he cares about is staying in power. He's for himself. He's lost his soul. Is the endless sort of fight for wars and constant wanting to keep the extended war in Gaza continuous? Is this just an existential fight for survival for Netanyahu?
Well, this is. I feel a bit uncomfortable to discuss this with a foreign, even if friendly, parliament, and just on a personal note, I am so tired of analyzing his psychological motives. This has become an international game, like they do with President Trump. Basically, when something is doing is the right thing to do, as he did in Iran, then it's the right thing to do. When something is wrong, like in Gaza, then it's the wrong thing to do. And I can give you an endless list of reasons why is it that I think he's the wrong person to lead the country. But I think you'll understand if I rather do it in Hebrew to the Israeli voters.
Just in relation to the current conflict in Gaza, what do you think should happen to bring the war to an end?
Are we there yet?
I think we're probably there yet. I think we only have 15 minutes, so we've done half an hour in Iran, so let's go on to Gaza.
Okay. Number one, as I said numerous times, including twice this morning, what we need to do is go to an agreement in Gaza, end the war, and bring back the hostages, because this is going nowhere. That raises the question, what needs to be done in Gaza? The plan I presented to the American administrations, I've discussed this with your foreign minister and others, is I think what needs to be done is to let the Egyptians run Gaza for the next 15 years. I will explain. Because this is not an instinctive solution, and it is not a flawless solution. It is just the best solution out of many bad ideas. Right now, the problem we have is we have no one to give Gaza to. Everybody understands why is it that Israel is saying Hamas cannot stay. The Palestinian Authority is too weak and incompetent. We thought in the beginning that some sort of a coalition of Arab countries, Sunni, moderate Muslim countries, like the Saudis, the Emirates, and others, will be the right coalition to run Gaza. But right now, it doesn't seem possible, opposite other things that are going on in the region that I'm not sure we're going to have time to discuss. Egypt has run Gaza for 19 years, between 48 and 67. They know how to fight terror. They know how to fight Muslim Brotherhood, or again, it's a radical, twisted version of Islam. It's not Islam. They know how to cooperate with us. We have fought together against ISIS, and they can function as guardians for the Palestinian people. I'm not saying we're giving Gaza to the Egyptians to become Egyptian. But what I'm saying is they can have a symbolic branch of the Palestinian Authority into the civic side of this. But basically, the only body around us that can run Gaza is Egypt. And this should answer another problem we are preoccupied with, is the fact that Egypt is in trouble after, 5 years of COVID, then war, Egypt's two main sources of income, which is the Suez Canal and the tourism, are hurt significantly. The external debt is about $155 billion. They are growing 1.7% a year, and therefore they cannot feed the mouses that are born there every year. So we think this can be arranged in a way that the international community will help the Egyptians with their internal problems, while Egypt is helping the international community and the Palestinians by taking Gaza to be managed for a limited period of time. This is the solution I've offered. I'm still discussing this with others. Now, ridiculously enough, I've discussed it with the Americans, with the European Unions, with you a little bit, even with the Egyptians. The only body I didn't discuss it with is our own beloved government for reasons of mutual dislike.
And under what conditions would Palestinians themselves be, in your view, able to run the Gaza or the West Bank?
When you just have to clarify for me, when you're saying Palestinians, which Palestinians? Because there's the Palestinian Authority, there's Hamas, there's Islamic Jihad, there's so many bodies who are calling themselves the real representatives of the Palestinians.
Okay, let me rephrase the question. Under what conditions would you see the recognition of a Palestinian state where the Palestinian Authority would be the ruling body? Under what conditions would you see this?
Well, you know, it's tragic. When I was prime minister, I gave a speech in the United Nations General Assembly, which is the biggest stage on earth, and against the advice of every person in his right mind, I've declared the fact that I am a supporter of the two-state solution. But tragically, this is has been postponed significantly after October 7th, because fear has become such a factor of any way we're looking at it, making sure, I mean, in order to discuss the two-state solution, the Palestinians have to prove to us now that this doesn't become another failing terror state that will be the base of the next attack against the Israeli people, against the innocent, the women and children that were attacked on October 7th. So fear, suspicion, and human tragedy, unfortunately, I think has pushed back the idea of the two-state solution. We need not to give hope on the future possibility of peace between our peoples, because this is the right thing. Two major things happened to me in the last year. One is this war, and the other is I have my first granddaughter, and I wish for her that in her future there is peace between those two people, two agonizing, suffering peoples.
Thank you, Chair.
Very good. Blair.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Lapid. I think it's a matter of regret for us that the Israeli government haven't been willing to talk to us, so we thank you for coming before us. Can I go back to something you said a moment ago about it's for the Israeli voters to decide? Unfortunately, I think people in Gaza can't wait that long. You this morning called again for the end to the war in Gaza. You've called for that many times. You've offered Netanyahu political cover for that. You've urged him to distance himself from extremists like Smotrich and Ben Gvir. What needs to change before any election and change of leadership for Netanyahu to answer that call to end things in Gaza, to do a deal, to bring home the hostages and to stop the killing?
Well, the reason I've said it again this morning is because I said, well, he didn't want to do it while he was still trying to regain his political power after the tragedy of October 7th, that his name is written all over it. Now that he's on top after a very successful operation in Iran, he might change his, he might understand or relate to the idea that this is the right thing for the country. And you know what? It is also something that will be extremely popular to the people of Israel. So as you do in the opposition, you